Good morning, everybody.
Zach,
How's it going?
welcome back.
Thank you. Where did we go? We went to Thanksgiving. It's been a while, and we had
And you were out the week before.
I was out, yeah.
I was in the captain's chair there for a minute.
How'd it work out?
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Didn't have the same energy.
I thought it was actually kind of cool watching it from the other side.
Yeah.
I got to be on the, sitting in my living room, live streaming, and it was cool. Y'all did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
So, I'm trying to sit a little closer because you said if you're closer to the camera, is that?
It wasn't for you.
This too close? You said, but no. You said Zoom. It's a more engaging
I was
way.
reading some how to do Zoom better, and it said that having versus being way back is easier on the recipient.
Got it. Speaking of, did you get a haircut or something? Something's different about you.
No.
Did you lose weight?
Yeah, no.
Did you shave?
I'm wearing my contacts, just getting tired of the
Contacts.
fogging up in the mask. You deal with that, especially now that
Always.
it's gotten colder.
Always. I have this stuff. It's kind of a gross name, but it's called frog spit. Swimmers use it for their goggles. I don't know if it works. I've tried it on. It actually feels like you're putting like gasoline on your glasses. It's sort of weird.
So my daughter, was wearing contacts earlier in the week, and my wife said, "Well, I like you with glasses better, I think." And I'm like, "Well, maybe you're just more used to it." And my daughter clarifies. She says, "Dad, what she's saying is, she thinks she likes your face better the more you cover it up."
Ooh.
So,
Ouch.
17-year-old.
10 points for the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
That was good though. That was good. So today's Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
Hashtag Giving Tuesday. So wanted to run through a few quotes that we had. So, I don't know. It felt like there was not room for just one here. So Anne Frank said, "No one has ever become poor by giving."
That's good.
Ben Carson, "Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give." Aesop said, "No act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted." Oprah Winfrey says, "To move forward, you have to give back." That's a quick and easy one. And then Denzel Washington said, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about what you've lifted up, about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back."
They're awesome.
This is good.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some giving back midway through here. But I am, before I put you in the spot, I'll let you think about what you're grateful for. But I'm grateful for, so I traveled for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I know that was questionable as to whether to do that, but I decided that it was important. We'd been planning it for a while. We drove down to Louisiana for a few days and got to see some of my cousins, and my kids got to meet some of their cousins, they'd never even met before. It was really awesome, and it was just cool. I got to see my 88-year-old uncle, and we were all wearing masks outside. Everybody was being super careful, but it was good weather. It rained a lot, but not during our meal. So I got to eat outside, so it was great. What'd you do?
So just kind of our nuclear family. We did have my wife's parents come in for a little bit, and then we did a little something with my folks. So it was small, outdoor. So it was really nice.
That's cool.
And then I am grateful for Monday rolling around. I was ready to go back to work after having a lot of family time.
It was a lot of family time. Yeah. And driving, I feel like I can't drive as well as my wife would say I can't drive well, period. But that like 8-hour drive back, 9 hours with kids. When you're driving down somewhere, you're excited about it. There's energy. The drive back, you're like, oh.
I remember those days because your youngest is what?
4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Still not.
Yeah. It was actually my oldest one. How much longer? I'm like, oh. 5.5 hours. Really? Yeah, really. I thought you said 6 hours like a while ago. It's like, no, that was just 30 minutes ago. Last time you asked. So anyway, y'all have anything you're grateful for today? Gratitudes? T. Davis?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm grateful for this
Dee's got a fuzzy sweater
Yes.
that looks warm because it's cold. Snow's coming.
I'm grateful that you let us come sit in the back of the meetings.
Yeah.
Grateful to be here. It is fun. That's good. So I want to do a quick shout out to our 40X teams. This is not everybody. I couldn't fit everybody's graphs on here, but everybody's doing really well. We have gotten, and you're going to see some numbers. Village has, I haven't even shared this with you, but we've got some pretty cool stats that I just looked up today. Year to date this year compared to year to date last year, they quite frankly it kind of blew me away. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact that people are still staying focused. They're still working together. They're collaborating, and 40X is this platform that we've got. I think we've got almost 60 people doing it, 60 agents doing it right now. We're wrapping up this year in the next couple of weeks, and we've
So
had
if
a lot
I'm not
of.
in one now, I'll have another opportunity.
We're gonna keep doing them, yeah.
Right in the new year.
Yep. So it's going to be awesome. So yeah. So stay tuned for that. We're going to get through the holidays. There's obviously a lot going on, but think about it. If it's something you want to do, by all means.
What are these graphs showing?
So these graphs show us. So they're looking at. So these are just different. All the brokers are leading a group. And so these are just a handful of them. So these little gray dotted line is basically the goal, the collective goal of the team. So you've got, let's say, this top left one has a goal of hitting about 50 contracts. So they are a little bit below their goal, but they've still gotten about 35, 37 contracts year to date, or in the last, 4 months since they've been doing it. The one below that, their goal was 25. They're already at 22. And really, the gray line, they're only supposed to be at 20 by now, but they're already above that. So they're tracking above that. The bottom right has been, almost looks like they underestimated their abilities. They've just been above that gray line the whole time. So they're really kicking some tail. And then this is a fun one. The top right is they've been a little bit below that gray line, kind of where they're supposed to be every week. And then they just had a nice little spurt and got above it. So it's just fun. It's a fun way to keep track of what we're doing, and and
the key is, you're focusing on the process, not the goal.
Focusing on the process, not the goal. So, right. So it's about doing less to achieve more. So focusing on less to achieve more. So we've got people that are, writing notes. We have people that are making phone calls. We have people that are previewing properties. We have engaging on social media. I mean, it really is those micro moments. However you can do those micro moments, create more of those. That's where the stuff happens. So it's I'm really proud of everybody who's doing this. So good work. Some news, education. Got some teddy pins, education going.
Welcome to December, villagers. It's Teddy Pins here, and we've got some awesome education to take us through the end of the year. So here's what we got. Today, 10:30, after this, we've got land and developers. Selling land, working with developers and builders with David Doris, Brian Stoltzfus, and Paul Ruff. That'll be on Zoom. Wednesday, Thrive, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Love to see you. Thursday, December 3rd, Pricing Pros from 9 to 9:30 on becoming an expert in doing CMAs. And also, we have Tech in the Field. So our Tech Lab on Thursday from 2 to 3 is with Lee Fund and Nick Irwin, RPR, HomeSnap, and Tech Tools. So look for that. And then in the future, we've got December 8th, we've got a big talk with Lloyd Carney and Abby Choate, closing experts and insurance. So reading an Alta disclosure, what to be ready for closing day questions and pitfalls, and an insurance specialist dealing with how to choose the right coverage and what to watch out for. December 15th, business planning with Zach. That's at 10:30. That'll be in person and on Zoom. So that's what we have. You want the tech tip? Here's some real estate related tech tips. When reordering your listing picture, so you're putting a listing in MLS and you're trying to drag the picture from the top all the way to the bottom, reduce your screen size. You can use Command Shift and the minus symbol, I think, will reduce the screen size so you can see more photos in one view to easily drag to the bottom. Those that know what I'm talking about, this is key. The other is take pictures as you walk through the property of things that you see could be an issue on inspection that you already know, just as a good reminder, or the appliances. And just put those in a photo. You can create a note and then take photos within that note, so all those photos will be associated with that property. So those are my tips on working with a buyer for this week. Teddy Pins, hope you have a great one. We'll see you at 10:30 today.
Awesome. So that'll be a cool panel today. Thanks, Teddy. So there's David Doris, Brian Stoltzfus, Paul Ruff doing a panel on new construction, working with builders. They do a lot of new construction, as do you. They'll talk about how to deal with high maintenance clients.
That's right.
Like Hunter Connolly. They'll talk about a lot of really good stuff. So that'll be good. So this is a screenshot of everything that's happening. Again, we've got a really cool pricing CMA class, and then Tech in the Field course that Lee Fund is doing. And then I'm excited about doing the business planning session. So we're going to roll up our sleeves and plan some businesses for 2021.
Yeah.
Because we only got 30 and a half days left.
Yeah.
2020.
So Zach, it's all about the vaccine right now, right? You've been tracking it?
Pretty much every so I know we've got Moderna, Pfizer, and then there was a third AstraZeneca.
So we've got 3, and they're all like really progressing well. Pfizer and Moderna have already, if you want to go to the next slide, have already kind of submitted to the FDA, and we should hear maybe as early as like mid next week on the approval for those, which means by Christmas you may start seeing that out and about. And today the CDC is meeting to talk about, all right, how are we going to allocate who's going to get the vaccine first? Obviously you've got frontline healthcare workers, you've got the elderly, you've got people with conditions, so all of that stuff's got to be kind of ironed out.
Serious medical ethics.
Yeah,
questions.
Serious
You
medical.
ever take a medical ethics class in college?
I did not.
I did. It was fascinating.
Really?
I mean, stuff like this. You think, oh, it's just like make a choice. But,
Yeah.
Dealing with people's lives here.
So on so part of this whole thing, besides like who's going to get it, is there's this whole supply chain that's really fascinating. Getting the vaccines from wherever it's manufactured, spread out across the country and in the right location so that it can then be, efficiently distributed to the people. So Pfizer's vaccine requires it to be stored at a temperature of minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus 94. So you can imagine the United Airlines had to get like special permission to have more dry ice on their flight to get it from Brussels over here. So there's all sorts of supply chain.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's like liquid nitrogen dry ice.
Yeah, Moderna can store theirs. It stays stable 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's like a standard refrigerator can handle that. And I think AstraZeneca is even more stable than that. They're saying it'll be really helpful for like third world countries and other areas where they don't even have refrigeration as readily available.
All right, so this is going to be a stupid question, but I mean, surely you can warm it up before getting the shot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sticking negative 94 in me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's going to be pretty chilly.
So anyway, just the airline capacities, that's one of the things, there used to be, so many more flights than there are now because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So the flights are down, which means like the belly of those active flights going everywhere was often how they sold, United would sell that to do cargo. And so with those flights being down, that's a real logistical, nightmare that people are trying to figure out. And United's actually just doing cargo flights now instead of passengers, which they used to not do very much of. So anyway, there's a whole logistics side of this that's kind of fascinating. But a good vaccine has led to the markets kind of having an incredible month. So November was the best month in the market since October of 1987, when there was a big crash, the Black Monday, they called it. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm sorry, January of 87, just following the crash of 86. So, basically everything market-wise has been going well. Even emerging markets and some of the currencies, it's been going pretty well. So November was a good month. We had Black Friday, obviously last Friday, and nobody actually saves money shopping on Black Friday. Zach? 'Cause
I
you're
didn't-
spending, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, you save money by not
That's a good
shopping
point.
on
That's right.
Black Friday. But U.S. store visits fell 52%, just obviously because of COVID.
Right.
And so that is a huge, brick and mortar hit. But made up for retail websites were up 22%. So up over $9 billion. Cyber Monday was yesterday, so we don't have the results on it yet. But interestingly, kind of on the employment front, Amazon, since the pandemic started, has hired 437,000 new employees.
Almost 500,000.
1,400 a day since the pandemic. That's how many.
And you think you're stressed dealing with 3 or 4 deals
Yeah.
at one time?
Can you imagine having to hire that many people?
All right, we got 1,400 new people from yesterday. Got 1,400 more coming in today.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And so, we're the beneficiaries of not just, some of those employees that are getting products out, but, with the jobs that they've announced coming to Nashville.
Yeah.
That'll continue to help our market. But, the markets aren't, the stock market is not really the most important part of us feeling good about the economy and people buying houses. It's really the job picture, right? And so this continues to be what we're focused on. Middle Tennessee, you can see what's happened. The unemployment rate going into the pandemic was 3.3%. And it rose up to 15.5% in April. And it's coming back down 7.4% at the end of October. So of the 403,000 jobs that Tennesseans lost, we've made up about 272,000 of those 400,000 jobs. Similar story on the unemployment claims. You can see how those have been declining. If you had asked economists, like, hey, what's going to be heading into the pandemic, what's going to be the pattern? When will we, kind of start coming out of this? They were all saying it was going to be maybe late summer, probably mid-fall. And what they found was that wasn't true, that the bottom of the job losses really came in April. So we've been recovering much quicker, but it's also why, heading into flu season and everyone being indoors, it's really important to get this vaccine rolled out and get through those next couple of months so that we can keep the momentum on these gains. This article is interesting. John Stanislawski sent this to me. Which cities will bounce back fastest? And Nashville, you can see, is the highlighted photo there.
Oh,
in
the Blue
article.
Angels.
So that was kind of fun. The market's best positioned and that will come back the fastest have the non-cyclical industries like information technology, life science, healthcare, defense. Washington, D.C. would be one. The markets facing continued challenges have exposure to cyclical industries like energy, like Oklahoma City struggling a little bit. New Orleans has so much tourism. They're really struggling. Hospitality, Las Vegas, and then retail, Miami is not coming back as fast. So thought that was interesting. Now, what's really been holding back our market?
Holding it back or holding it up?
Holding it back a little bit.
Yeah, inventory.
The inventory, right? And so, good news is new home construction has picked up, particularly in the South. So overall, new home construction was up about 6.5% year over year, but in the Southeast, it was up 12.9%. So almost double, a little over double. And it's the reason people wanting to move to areas that maybe have a little more room, people wanting to have a little more room in their homes, and low interest rates. That's all been kind of driving this. But housing starts were up significantly in October.
And
November.
new construction is really good for a business, whether you do new construction or not. A lot of times, there's plenty of data that shows that new construction as an industry, obviously it creates jobs and construction and whatnot, but it sparks that domino effect, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new home community somewhere, and somebody's driving through, or family's driving through a neighborhood, and they're like, oh, let's go check out the model home. And next thing you know, they're putting their house on the market, they're moving into that, and then it creates just like regular for sales
Yeah.
do, but I think new construction more so will help kickstart that.
And you're right, the job impact of a healthy construction market. I mean,
Yeah.
I think for every house that's built, there's some sort of multiple of new jobs that are created. So
I think it's way up about 1.2. I think is about what it is. Yeah. So.
cool. All right, couple of deals. We hit on this last year when this project was announced. This one's right near the downtown Y, kind of where Amazon is building some of their buildings, and so a major permit was issued for the shell of this building. So it's actually big step moving forward. It's one thing to release a rendering and say this is coming soon, but actually to get it all designed, close on your financing, and to start is huge. So this is a 34-story, 356-unit tower that Tony Gerentano is doing in downtown Nashville. And just like for those of us who grew up in Nashville, to have a building that looks like this in our skyline it's kind of amazing.
It's wild. And there's another really interesting one, the 1221.
It's going to be right across the street, maybe?
This is the one right next to the kind of the McDonald's and the Exxon, right by across from Whole Foods.
Oh,
That's a really fascinating.
That's an office building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
architecturally, it's got a lot of angles as well. It's called the 1221 building.
Yeah. So that's GBT.
Yep.
Yeah, Georgetown. So the other one, this one's an actual photo of construction. This is the W Hotel in the Gulch.
I was going to say that doesn't look like this.
Right. So this will be opening up in the spring, kind of wrapping up. So that'll be another new thing for Nashville. We haven't had this. You've got the Conrad at Broad West, you've got Four Seasons downtown, and then in the Gulch we'll have the W Hotel. So lots of new offerings for your high-end hotel.
So have you done any staycations? So I've talked to a couple of people that have done like staycations at the Virgin Hotel or various other places, and it's I don't know, kind of a fun gift idea if you're thinking about it.
Right, it wouldn't be a good
Go to a staycation, but it's if we have people coming in town to visit us, they're staying at these hotels. It's kind of important for us to know at least what they are and walk inside of them at some point.
Yeah.
So go check them out.
Okay, so we got to talk about this. This is huge news. CoStar bought HomeSnap. All right, so CoStar is like historically been a commercially focused, like for commercial real estate. They own LoopNet, they own Apartments.com. They've kind of got all these properties, but they're buying HomeSnap, right?
Yeah. So HomeSnap is basically I think most of us use HomeSnap to some extent at this point, right? Because RealTrax and a lot of other MLSs nationally have kind of tied into HomeSnap as their mobile portal, right? To be able to access sort of the agent versions, be able to set up showings, access, basically the MLS on a mobile-friendly platform. Because you can do that through mobile.realtrax.com or just realtrax.com, but it's just not.
No, it's good.
It's just not. It's why invest? I mean, RealTrax is a independent company, independent MLS. Why invest all of that engineering if you can tie to a third-party app? So what does that mean for us?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So realtors obviously have questions like, this is a tool. How is CoStar going to be, a great partner to deal with? Are they going to be more like Zillow, where they have a lot of the problems that Zillow has? There was an interesting interview right after the merger where Andy Florence, the founder of CoStar, talks about taking on Zillow. He says, Zillow's business model of selling ads on listings is unethical. That's what he says. He said can you imagine allowing realtors to put up yard signs on your listing, like other realtors to come in and just, it's bad for the consumer, it's bad for the listing agent. He says on LoopNet, the way we do it, so LoopNet, if you've ever used it for commercial properties, they let agents that want to market their property, they can charge or pay or, get promoted on that site. And so it's kind of more agent driven, lets them be in control. In his interview with Inman, Florence committed to never allowing competing agents to advertise on a home digital listing. your listing, your lead is what he said, and then he believes enhanced marketing is the best business model. So everyone thinks we want to replace Zillow. We don't. We will not create a product putting other people's names on the wrong listings. We'll never create a brokerage firm hiring brokers, and we'll never be buying houses and flipping them. He went on to say we have a very clear vision of what we want to be and what we don't want to be. People have failed to leverage the power of the internet to help agents and homeowners sell their homes and help agents do more deals. So it sounds like
Trying to go head to head with Zillow, yeah.
Yeah, but Home Snap's in good hands, and it's going to be a tool that we can continue to feel good about using and supporting.
So one of my good friends, like since childhood, who lives here in Nashville, he works for a company that CoStar owns as well. So I called him and I said, hey, talk to me about this. Like I knew CoStar owned your company. What happened when they bought, just like give me the rundown. He said, it was actually really good. He said, and he had actually sent me the article as well, because their CEO sent out a press release to all of them. He said they've got like $4 billion in cash. I mean, they've got a lot of cash right now to buy, and they're buying, I think, a lot of different companies. But he said from everything he's seen, they have historically made whatever's good better, and that's what he would expect here. So I think that's exciting. I mean, so in terms of costs, obviously, if you're gonna use CoStar, if you want a subscription from commercial real estate standpoint, that's a very expensive, like $1,500 a year.
Yeah.
I think, or anyway, it's pretty expensive.
So that's for a whole different.
That's a whole
level
different
of
setup.
information.
Right. That's a whole different setup. And so I guess the question would be: is there a sort of a move to try to make, go after some sort of a national MLS again? There's been attempts at that. There's been a lot of resistance.
So talk to me about that. So RealTrax is our local MLS.
So RealTrax, yeah. So
you go to some other market. There's another MLS that has nothing to do with RealTrax.
There's some independently owned MLSs like RealTrax. RealTrax is interesting because it's owned by RealTrax. It's also owned by some of the different boards. So it's complex. But then you have you've got CoreLogic, for instance, publicly traded company that owns residential MLSs. So if you're in a market,
I think CoStar bought CoreLogic too.
I don't know if they bought CoreLogic or they were thinking about buying CoreLogic. Because I was wondering about that as well. I'm not clear on that, but yeah. So there are a lot of different MLSs that don't speak the same language. Some people, for instance, might call a powder room a half bath. Other markets might call it a partial bath. And so all of those different little details don't translate that well across each other. And there's been efforts to try to make that work. So
Seems
you have
like they can figure that part out. I think it's about the control.
Because if you go to Realtor.com, it's like, it shows a half bath or a partial bath or whatever. But yeah, I think it's about control over data, control over what we are. But at the end of the day, as listing agents, we put our data out there. And so the challenge with Zillow is that yes, one, I think it's tricky because somebody else is getting a call on my listing. What I think my biggest frustration with the Zillow model is that you have somebody else, like I know more about my listing than you do, right? Just inherently. I know I can answer all the questions about it, right?
Yeah.
But if you pay for a lead along with 3 other people and it's a race to see who can get to the consumer first to answer questions about my listing, it probably feels to the consumer like you don't really know that much about my listing.
Yeah.
And there's a little confusion there. And then it also feels a little salesy because there might be 2 or 3 people trying to reach out to them.
It really is not good for our industry as a whole, I don't think, to come across that way.
So that's my biggest frustration with it. But anyway, something to watch.
I love some good life hacks.
Life hacks, 14.
I mean, I live for Teddy's Tech Tips every week, but I'm not going to give you all 14. And these are good ones because, Zach,
productivity shaming.
It focuses on some things you can give up versus more things you need to do.
I like that. Stop doing lists.
Yeah. So you got to tell me which ones these resonate with you. All right?
Okay.
All right. First one. Give up starting with a yes when someone says, hey, can you do this? Or can you? So they're asking for your time. A lot of times our default is yes, right? Like, I want to get together. I want to do this. Yes, okay, yes. You need to give up on your default being yes. Instead, start with a no. And don't feel guilty about it. Because every request you say yes to is time you rob from your future self.
If you're saying yes to this,
it's okay to hoard your time and to guard it. Think about that. It feels a little selfish, doesn't it?
I think you're pretty good about that. You know, Aaron White is really good about that. If you want to meet with Aaron,
Really
it's like,
good.
I've got, you know. But
It's like,
when
maybe
you,
you
when
can
you
be
get
with
some
my-
time with him, it's really valuable.
That's true. No,
But it's good.
All right. So number 2, give up working without a deadline. So I've noticed when I do this, it's like I'm getting this done by 4 o'clock today. Like I got to run out. I got to be somewhere else. If you force yourself to have a deadline, even with some of your more mundane tasks, you'll get more done. Deadlines make you superhuman. Use deadlines to create a sense of urgency. Think about that.
I like it. I mean, it's what 40X. It's why 40X goes weekly
Yeah.
instead of monthly, right? I mean, you can do it daily, but weekly you've at least got a deadline because
Got
a
to get
week
your
can
3
go
things
by.
done
Yeah.
by Monday. Yeah.
A week can go by pretty quickly.
Okay, this one's easy.
Ooh.
Like sometimes I think Caitlin watches me like I'm pacing around the 3 chairs in my office. Like,
Mark Deutschman does that a lot.
yeah, move while if you gotta take a phone call. Like, I don't have a trampoline or anything like that, but you can move.
Jump on a trampoline. Can you imagine?
People do that. Like, they have that. And I've heard that like another thing is like those little mini trampolines that you do are like really good thing to do first thing in the morning to like get your limbic like tendons and blood flowing
I
going.
think there's still a Cyber Monday sale on the trampoline.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get. But I don't have one of those. But I do walk around and pace when I'm talking on the phone. I think that's a good one. And it's easy, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. This is a good one. You know those people you listen to that are just like always, they can find a problem with anything. They may be like, I mean, I had to give up some of my favorite like political hosts, and because they're stressing me out. They're kind of those preachers of chaos. And so just avoid them.
Because it's addictive. That's why
It's
people do
addictive,
it.
it's anti-motivating,
Yeah.
you know, so, all right. Don't focus on the outcomes. This is 40X, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the process beats focusing on an outcome. An outcome requires finite willpower. A process is a proven strategy you can follow that puts most of the tasks on autopilot for you.
That's
Just
right.
do the process.
I got to sell this house. I got to sell this house. I got to sell this. No, you don't. You need to market the house. You need to call other agents about who's showing the house. You need
Yeah.
to look and see what else is being sold. You know, just those little things,
Yeah.
right? Stay in touch with your clients. Don't just say I need to get another client. Perfect.
All right.
Give up luck.
Give up luck. Don't think about it. Don't wish you had more of it. You won't get lucky. You won't luckily find more time. The holidays aren't the answer to your unfinished dreams. Retirement's not the panacea you think it's going to be. Productive people don't get lucky. They get intentionally lucky by doing the tasks that matter every day to them.
Luck comes to those who are prepared.
Like it. All right. Here's a good one. Are you good at managing your inbox, Zach? Yeah. I could do better too. Delete or archive messages. Just get rid of that clutter that's going on in your mind. You know you got just pop, pop, pop. You can archive them. You can find these search tools if you use Gmail or Outlook. They're so good now. You can find any email that you've ever archived. Storage doesn't cost anything. Just get that inbox down to where you're really just focusing on a few items you need to focus on. We've talked about this a bunch of times. Don't have too many goals, right? Warren Buffett says, write down your 25 goals, circle 3 to 5 of them and throw the rest away. And so that's a good one.
They're not all over the place like a Tasmanian devil, trying to be everything to impress everyone to the box ticking of endless goals.
All right, this is the last one. Don't be rude, selfish, play games with people. Delete the drama from your life and you'll have more time to do good stuff. Evil plans are exhausting. Revenge takes the focus off your goals. You can't right every wrong, right? You've got that people that just like, you got that grudge you just want to hold on to. I had someone say, forgiveness is a gift to yourself. That's a
You
good
told me
one, isn't
that.
it?
I thought that was good.
Yeah, it's like let it go.
Let it go.
And then this last, I just love this slide. This is
So we've seen this one before, but this is
yeah.
a cool way to end.
It's
I mean,
just-
what a great way to end 2020.
Yeah, to be in a
the
market.
peak.
This is for Nashville. This shows over the last, roughly 8 years, how Nashville has improved in terms of this is basically a survey saying the best place to invest for real estate in the country. Nashville is now number 3 on the list, and so
That's incredible.
It's just exciting. We're in a good place. Got lots of opportunity.
From 27, just 8 years ago.
Yeah. So, cool.
Well done, y'all. All right, so this is exciting.
Man, this is exciting. So just to recap, as you can see, that's the Thistle Farms Halcado.
Make sure we can hear this.
So recapping, it's Giving Tuesday, but over the last month or so, we've been talking about, it's been a tough year for a lot of folks. We've been really blessed in the real estate industry to be able to work, and we normally do a Christmas party at the end of the year. We obviously can't do that this year, and so we thought, hey, let's put those funds back to work in the community. And so we took the top Village Fund recipients that you guys support and give to. We kind of gave a list of those, let you vote on them, and we came up with our top 3, which were Thistle Farms, Martha O'Brien Center, and Second Harvest Food Bank. And so we have a little video from Thistle Farms, our number 1 recipient, and so let's show that.
Hey guys, this is Hal Cato, the CEO of Thistle Farms, and I am so excited to be here with all of you and just to say thank you. Thank you for picking us. Thank you for, this is the 17th year you guys have supported Thistle Farms, and it's just amazing.
And I just want to add, I'm Becky Stevens, the founder and president, add my voice to house to thank all the agents who voted for us, to Hunter, to Zach, and I especially want to thank Sweet Newell and his daddy Newell, who made the first connections with us with Village Realty and the Village Fund. You guys have always loved the community, and that's why we make such good partners. We love y'all, and this will make a huge difference.
Yeah, and I also just want to give a huge shout out to our dear Rachel. She left Thistle Farms and came over and joined you guys, and she has just soared. And thank you for the love you've surrounded her. It just says so much about what an amazing organization you are. And we just hope 2021 brings you as much happiness as you have given us in closing out 2020. Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Rachel's right over there. I was trying to get her to come up.
Rachel won't come up, but
Well done, Rachel.
that was just y'all are awesome. That was, in a minute for them to say all of that is really special. So more good news. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we announced that we were going to give Thistle Farms $10,000 and Martha O'Brien $7,500 and the Second Harvest Food Bank $5,000. Connie and F&B have said we're all about this and we want to give as well, and so that if you didn't have, Connie already gives us the best service and best rates around, but now there's even more a reason. So we really thank you for coming alongside what we're doing. So it's going to allow us to give, instead of $10,000 to Thistle Farms, we're going to give $15,000 to Thistle Farms. Instead of $7,500, we're going to give $11,000 to Martha O'Brien Center. And instead of $5,000, we're going to give $6,500 to Second Harvest Food Bank. So it's just awesome. Thank you for doing that.
I love you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Can we do it like a big check?
Yeah, we need to do a big check. But we're going to get the money out first, and then we can get some photos or something like that.
Thanks, Connie and Roger. That was awesome. Very cool. So, also, kind of cool. So if you go to Thistle Farms website, so this is my go-to gift for family every year. I get my mom, my grandparents, my grandmother, my sisters. Just they've got great stuff. I mean, I don't know if you've ever.
Yeah.
They've got it, and everybody seems to love it. Candles to all
And they have
kinds
lots
of.
of men's gifts now.
And they have lots of men's gifts too. So I might just get myself something. So you can get 15% off if you go to thistlefarms.org. Shop, use the code Village15, which is kind of fun. So that was like a fun little treat to
And that's
to
good
say
until
thank you.
December 15th.
It's good until December 15th. So TikTok people,
Get
you
on
got
it.
2 weeks, 14 more days of Thistle Farm shopping.
Oh, the other thing, we're gonna, and we talked to Thistle Farms, and we're directing that gift to the cafe, where that's actually where Rachel worked and got started. And they've really struggled this year; just haven't been able to be open as much, and all of
great.
the crowds are down a little bit. So to be able to really help the cafe there and the women that work there and are coming out of the program.
It is delicious food too. It is really
It is good. Yeah.
It's really good. All right, so market. So just a quick side note before we jump into that. So I was looking up. I was reading the Skim. Remember you said it was like targeted toward like middle-aged women,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I was reading
Millennial women.
Millennial women. There you go. And they said that the word of the year, the Merriam-Webster word of the year, was pandemic. And I guess they get the word of the year based on how many people search for the definition on their website, or how many searches somewhere come up for these words. So kind of interesting. The 11 other words that were the most sort of searched: coronavirus, defund, Mamba. This is Kobe Bryant's nickname for him.
Yeah.
Kraken, Seattle's new hockey league franchise.
Yeah. Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, Seattle Kraken.
I need to Google that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that might jump to number one here in a minute. Maybe I'll Google it. But Quarantine, Antebellum, right? Because the band Lady Antebellum changed their name to Lady A. Do you know how to pronounce the next one?
Schadenfreude.
I think it's Schadenfreude.
No.
Schadenfreude.
That's not it.
Schadenfreude. So that's interesting. Enjoyment obtained from the trouble of others. This is not a very nice thing, right? But it is a.
Someone else gets COVID.
Yeah, well, it's like, I think it had a lot, it's just the hotly contested political year. And so when when whoever your candidate or your whatever, the opposite person,
Gotcha.
something bad happened, you were like, haha,
Yeah.
that's good, that's Schadenfreude. So asymptomatic,
Yep.
irregardless.
Not a word. Not a word. David Payne does not need to come.
David Payne would say it is not a word. It is mentioned in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, apparently.
As not a word.
As maybe not a word.
Just
but,
say regardless.
Just
not irregardless.
Yeah.
It's like
Here.
supposedly. Also not a word.
Supposedly.
Also not a word.
Is it like literally? Literally? Dad, literally? I've
That's-
been like studying all week.
Literally been studying all week.
So Icon and malarkey. So Icon, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, sorry. And then, when
Yeah,
she was
she's an icon.
She was an icon, and so Icon was searched. And then malarkey. Oh, just come on, folks. It's just a bunch of malarkey.
Who is that?
So Biden said malarkey a lot.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of malarkey. So that was, but people didn't know what malarkey meant, I guess. So
Yeah.
they were looking. Rates, 2.5%.
Do
Come
it.
on, people. 2.25 for a 15-year. That's insane. I mean, this is just unbelievable. This is still this low. So post this stuff. These things are going out. We'll send them out. Be sure to post them. Tools. We talked about the pre-listing interview. Just a reminder, this is a time where a lot of people are starting to get calls from people that are thinking about buying a house in the spring of next year. If they have a house to sell, use this form. Please talk to them about it. Spend 10 minutes on the phone now, and don't just say yes and sure.
Even if you're going to someone you'd consider to be a friend or a loose friend, and they're asking you to hey, come over, and you think you've got the listing in the bag,
Don't think that.
show up prepared with something and a process, and to where they really feel like they've made the right choice if they've already made it, or if they're still considering other options, you're really putting the anchor down.
The worst mistakes I have ever made in the real estate business, the hardest transactions I've ever done were early on in my career where I did just that.
Yeah.
And I thought oh, it's like, we're buddies, I got this.
Yeah.
And then because you didn't tell them what your process was, you didn't tell them what you were doing, guess what they assume you're doing?
Nothing.
whole lot of nothing, right? And so it's like, but I'm doing all this stuff, and then just go through your process in a normal way. So, tip of the week: E&O dues, realtor dues reminder. Don't forget, you got to pay these. So go to riceo.com or go to nashvillerealtors.org. Get your new lock boxes. Get the white ones. The blue ones are going away. And then this is pretty awesome. So look at this. Year to date, January 1st to November 30th, yesterday. Year to date, volume. This is all on RealTrax, right? So it's quite frankly, it's probably a little bit more than that because there might be a few things that are not on RealTrax. But if you are selling stuff, please make sure it's closed out on RealTrax. Even if it's an off-market listing, put it on RealTrax and make sure it's closed out because these are great numbers. Year to date last year, we'd sold almost $1 billion. This year, 1.35 billion. It's a 42% increase
Wow. That's awesome.
in 11 months. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Good work, y'all. I'm gonna clap for that. I'm clapping for that. That was good. I was super impressed by everybody, and that's really just, and that's not like that's not a huge influx of agents. That's just everybody doing really, really well and putting their nose to the grindstone and working hard and getting stuff done. And obviously, some agents are struggling. So that's, surround yourself, find out who's doing well, get in a 40X group, connect with them. Don't get lonely. And again, just kudos to the 40X crews because that's. I think
We're going to be doing another round.
We're going to be doing another round, right?
Let's do it. Let's get.
So if you need some,
We got like 60, 70 people doing it now. It'd be awesome to get triple digits going for 2020.
that would be good. That would be good. Just because you did it once doesn't mean you have to stop.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Coming soons, don't forget, put your coming soons, comingsoon.villagetn.com, and then we'll send those out. Takeaways, gosh, there's so many good things. I like the life hacks. Say no. So if somebody asks me for something and I say no, I'll just say I'm doing what Hunter told me to do, and I'm saying no.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you can make a case, and then we'll see it.
Tell them I can't meet you, but Aaron White would love
Aaron
to.
White would love to. That's right. Land, this cut off somehow, but 10:30 V-Talk with David Doris, Brian Stolzfus, Paul Ruff. That starts in 10 minutes. See the Zoom link in the Village calendar.
How about those Titans? Paul Ruff was in Indianapolis at the game on Sunday.
That sounds great.
Oh, such a great win.
They won?
Yes.
That's good.
they
Titans won.
I mean, it's like we're playing meaningful December football, Zach. And
That's what I'm
it's
talking
like-
about.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like it.
Large doses of Derrick Henry. Just, watch out.
Watch out. All right, thanks, y'all. Enjoy your time, enjoy your week, and give something for Giving Tuesday.
There you go.
All right.